What is up, guys? It is Stankey and I'm back with another video here. This game I thought I'd just go over a game where I played Safelane and did really well and thought I was kind of instrumental in us winning the game, which is what you have to do if you want to climb MMR. So I kept last pick here. I was the top MMR on my team in this game, and if I am, I normally try to play mid or safe and pick last or near last. And sort of take advantage of the fact that I'm okay at like rounding out drafts and counter picking. So the SF took my mid lane because he was one of those guys, and that was fine. The Weaver was wanting to play off lane. We had a jungle axe and a Crystal Maiden. So I was going to have a Crystal Maiden support, so I wanted something that laned well with that and took advantage of his mana regen, and then something that was strong against mainly Slark and Bloodseer. Magnus is kind of a problem, but like those were the two heroes I was looking to sort of to be the biggest problems for me during my picking. So like Anti-Mage is generally pretty good against Slark, but he's really bad against Bloodseeker. I was also wanting a frontline like melee core because we've got this Weaver and Shadow Fiend that are going to be wanting to be in the back, and if I had like another ranged core like a Drow or something like that, or a Morphling, and they're sitting at the back, it sets up easier RPs. And also these are both real squishy heroes, so I didn't want another squishy hero. I wanted something who could take a bit of damage from their sort of like and fight their 4 melee sort of aggressive tanky-ish lineup. So I ended up going with Ursa because Ursa's like not particularly like countering either of these heroes, but his ultimate makes him be able to tank a huge amount of damage. Also, BKB isn't great against this team because Underlord's whatever the hell it's called, Pit of Malice, still stops BKB movement, so he can lock you down in that, and RP goes through BKB and Rupture does as well. So if you like, I wasn't planning on building BKB on Ursa, but it was an option. Also, it allows you to like burst people down during Axe Call. So Slark's quite squishy, but if you blink call him, Ursa can kill him during that call, and same is true for like any of those heroes. And he's also very good in lane, so he's a terrifying laner with Crystal Maiden. You can do some serious work. So I didn't know what exactly the offlane was going to be, but I figured whatever melee hero it was, I'd be able to deal with it. This is a relatively standard starting build for me on Ursa. I go the Tango, the Stout Shield, a Healing Salve, and a Mango, and then a Branch. Like Branch you can either build into Wand if you want it, or you can just use it for more regen from your Tango, and it uses up the rest of your gold. I think we lost a little bit of tick gold or something, but I went for we secured the top rune, and I've headed straight up here top to start blocking, so let's get into it. So I'm blocking, not like super hard out, but I'm just trying to block the range creep to the front to make sure that if that dies first, then there's no way that my lane's going to push unless I want it to. So get the deny on the range creep, and now there's a replay bug, so it's already showing me as level 3. Oh, here we go, it's fixed. So I'm playing with, I just get Fury Swipes once I see that it's just him here. We've got a bit like a lane ward, which is really useful. And Fury Swipes allows me to 1 last hit easier, and 2, whenever the Underlord comes close to the name, I can just whack him. And also you can potentially, it's the easiest level 1 kill, right? If you go either of your other 2 skills, you're unlikely to be able to get a kill on him level 1, but with Fury Swipes you definitely can if you chase him down. But I don't have the move speed to be able to kill him really at the moment, and Crystal Maiden's level 1 disable isn't enough for me to be able to kill him, so it allows me to zone him very easily, but I really need to pick up either an Oov, Orb of Venom, or Boots, and preferentially both before I'm going to be able to kill him easily. So he's just spamming Pit here, which is kind of like weird, but I'm totally okay with it. He's missing out on a lot of experience. I've got the wave exactly where I want it. I make sure they have a little bit more creeps than me if I can all the time, to make sure that it actually pushes in and hits my kills my range creep before my creeps arrive, because if you've got the wave back further to your side than their side, your creeps are going to arrive first, so you can't just be even. So here I pick up my boots, but he's going to get away, so I just bail. I don't want to miss too many last hits chasing him to only get off like 1 attack, so here I managed to get back in time for my last hits and to be able to keep my wave where I want it. So now I'm trying to deny my creep as soon as I can, but I've kind of lost control of the wave a little bit here, but I make sure to click on my creep to make sure I don't tank the damage from the range creep there, because if I tank their range creep even for 3 or 4 attacks, that's going to stuff me up. So here I've got my boots so I can run at him and get my stomp off. I'm level 3, so it's a real easy potential kill for me here, and I'm just trying to slow him down enough for the Crystal Maiden to come in and slow him. But turns out we have an axe with haste coming, so that helps secure the kill. But level 3 is a huge power spike for Ursa, because once you've got 1 point in all 3 skills, it becomes very, very easy for you to kill your enemy offlaner, especially if he's a melee. I used my Mango and picked up an Oov there. I'm not really going to need the regeneration from my Mango, and I'd rather have my Branch for the minimalistic stats that it gives me, and also to potentially eat with my Tango later. because I'm planning on going like phase boots and stuff before I get my Mask of Madness. So here my wave's pushing out, but I'm doing it on purpose because the Crystal it's coming up to 253, and the Crystal Maiden's going to pull the big camp, which I told him to, so he's going to pull that in here. Now I'm trying to zone the hero, so you can just run at him and hit him. Like, look how much damage I'm doing per hit, right? Like, I can almost kill him there if he tries to, well, I mean, if he tries to fight me, I can definitely kill him. But if he comes back in here, I've still got my stacks on, so he makes a real big misplay. Comes back in, I've got all my Fury Swipes. That was a recent buff Earths got, I think, as well. They don't reset for 20 seconds. I think it used to be shorter, like 15 or something. So if he comes back into the wave within 20 seconds and he's on that much health, he's taking, like, I think I had like 6 or 7 stacks of Fury Swipes up. Which, when you look how much damage that is, it's 15 per attack, right? So it's like 100 extra damage-ish. So he comes back in, pop my Q and kill him. So he's not, like, this isn't a rubbish player, but it's just I'm, you know, making his life difficult. This is a really hard lane for him. And the other thing is he could potentially jungle. He can go back and stack and clear it with his Q, but he needs to get enough levels to be able to actually have sufficient points in his Q for him to actually be able to farm the waves. So he's not like an Axe or a, you know, Slardar or something that could buy an Iron Talon and easily go jungle, so he's kind of forced to come back to lane. So if I can force him out, that's really, really big for us. And they don't really have much opportunity to kill our Weaver, so our offlane is going to be doing okay, and there's, if I can make theirs do very poorly, then that's really good for us. So Weaver's got 7 CS, he's only got 4, but experience-wise, he's on level 2, he's level 4, so we got a big level advantage, and he's potentially going to get a... Oh, he should have run forward and hit him there with his Sakuchi and then attacked him. That was a big mistake. He would have actually got that kill. He still had more time on his Sakuchi to run through and hit the Slark. With his damage from Sakuchi. Get the 100 damage off. I've been saying that right? Sakuchi? Yeah, anyway. So here I picked up my phase boots. I told him to pull at 50, like, but he didn't. He tried to pull this wave instead of waiting to 53 and then stacking and pulling at the same time and pulling this wave. So I'm trying to tell him there, I wanted you to pull that one, and then this wave will still pull out and I can fight him at that wave and zone him, but he'll deny a whole wave of experience and stack our big camp. So instead what he did was pull too early, the wave didn't stack, and he only pulled like 2 creeps, and now he's going to get that whole second wave still pushing into him here. So what I want to do is zone him off this wave, so I don't want to let him farm it if I can. So I'm sort of playing a little bit passively. Like, if you watch that again, your positioning is kind of important. If I start running at him too early, he's going to feel threatened. So I kind of just sit behind the creep wave here, pretending I'm going to just farm. So he hangs around, and then I phase boots, run past, get my clap off, and then juke back around. Use my ultimate to remove the debuff, so he's popped Malefice on me, so Enrage gets rid of that, and then I can run at him straight away and get the kill. I think I mess up here a little bit, but he ruptures my Crystal Maiden, and he's doing a hell of a lot of damage. I missed my clap, so that was the big thing that I stuffed up, really, but I think he gets away here, and I'm getting, like, I got clapped by the Ursa, so my move speed got reduced, so that was bloody a bit of bear on bear hate there, but comes back in and I can potentially kill him, but he's got way too much move speed because a lot of our team's low. But so I guess the idea would have been to walk straight past into the other side of my Crystal Maiden with my W up and be ready to attack him when he came in, and not like get his sort of click happy with my Q. So here, our ward's expired, he's spammed his spells on this wave, but you gotta remember how much damage Ursa can do, it's ridiculous. So I've got an option of using Earthshock or Overpower there, and I use Earthshock because it gives enough time for Axe to come in for this gank and get the call off. If I just went for the Overpower, I would have done more damage initially, but he wouldn't have been able to get there to finish off the kill. So here I've picked up a Morbid Mask and a Magic Wand, and I've got it coming on my courier, and I backed off the wave to make him feel safe, and now I've looped around when my CM arrived, and I go let him slow first, use my Stomp afterwards, just attack walk. I don't care that I'm ruptured, I'm not going to take enough damage for it to be relevant, and I can steal a lot of damage from life stealing him anyway. So that was just... If I sat in the wave there, the Bloodseeker might not have come and farmed it, but the fact that I backed off, sat in the jungle, and then came in for the gank with the Crystal Maiden, like, you've got to, like, it's a little bit of mind games. Like you saw, I did the same thing with the Underlord. You can sort of make them feel, like, sometimes you can make the opponent do what you want them to do in lane by playing a specific way, and then, like, you know, make them play into your trap as such. when you have scrubby mid laners that take your lane and they have no map awareness, it's quite important to ping a lot when they're getting ganked. So that's me doing my public service and telling the Shadow Fiend to get the fuck out. So that's with, I use microphone in game a fair bit, and I got a TP here, but someone else TPs before me, so I've got a real long TP time. This guy actually tries to skill me here to kill me, which is just ridiculous. So I'm all on board with that. If he wants to bring me into the fight. I am 100% down. So the way of sort of skill build you might think is a little bit weird, but I wanted to put max points in overpower because that really helps me zone out the offlaner when he's a melee hero. Every time he comes up to the last hit the wave, I can right click him with overpower, and that lets it stack up quickly. And also it like this sort of combo, when I've got a support that can slow and stun for me, I don't need as many points in Earthshock. Sometimes there is actually a build where you max Earthshock and then you use the slow and the damage from that to be able to zone out your wave and run them down and kill them. But I also want to be able to go for an early Roshan here, so getting points in my W and E allow me to do that. But there's sort of 4 points in this and 2 in this is plenty to be able to rush once especially because I'm doing it kind of late. You can do it way earlier than this, but I need to do good work in my wave first. And having a Morbid Mask, phase boots, and this many skill points is well more than I need to be able to Roshan. So I bought that smoke and TP earlier, but that I planned to go and Roshan with that, but that fight middle happened, and now I'm doing it afterwards. So we'll go through this quickly, but I just moved down and a double damage room arrives, which is all good with me. I don't think they had vision. They did actually, so it's kind of risky taking that, but I think having a double damage when you go to Roshan is worth it. I was hoping they didn't have vision and that Magnus would just come up and think the rune was already gone, but a lot of my team is kind of around here, and I was pretty confident with a double damage and level 9 I could kill this Roshan before they came to challenge. I've got to be a little bit careful to get too low as well, because if you're trying to Rosh without the Bloodseeker can see you, like without getting. So here he comes in. This is important. I can see him here, but I've ultied and I just go for the kill. He's gonna try and cast his spells and stuff, but I'm gonna straight click this, and he's gonna come in to try to steal it, and then I'm just gonna walk past him, clap, and kill him. So if he wants to come in and challenge me, that's all good. I'm ruptured, but I've got Aegis and I still have my ult. Do I have my ulti buff? I don't, but you can still move. You don't have to stand still with rupture. If you're going to take small steps and it's going to secure your kill, it's worth doing. So this guy goes to D-ward here, and I'm pinging it out super hard because we don't want to let him do that if we can afford it. And also it's a chance for a kill, but Weaver gets shreked because he's stolen something useful. He stole Raze. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And then I get a little bit ham here, but this is kind of, I use my wand, kind of save it to make them commit. So if I wand too early, he's gonna run away. But I walk up to the end of pounce range, wait till I'm nearly dead, because I know all Rubik stuff's on cooldown, right? So he can't burst me. So I can wait till the last second, then wand, and then get my kill off. Axe gets call. I use clap just for damage because I don't have overpower up, and we get the kill off on the Slark. So this was a pretty big mistake by me. I've picked up Blink here, but I get aggressive with it with my axe. I didn't realize that Weaver had left and that our Crystal Maiden was running off into the river. I thought he was still kind of with us. So even then, this is pretty bad. We see a hero mid and bottom, but we get a bit too behind the tower here. But managed to do a bit of damage. I was hoping we could get a call off on someone and kill them. I get rupture here, so I'm trying to just stand still and fight whoever comes close to me, just sort of staying still, because they're both melee heroes, right? They can't kill me until they get too close. So I managed to kill the Bloodseeker because he plays poorly. Again, wait for him to get close and go for the stomp. And I try to blink out here, but I think I don't get it. Yeah, I get instantly Malefist because he uses it before I res. And I just try to do as much damage as I can before I die. But that was a big mistake on my behalf. This is some things that can lose your games. When you're really ahead like that on your cores, we lost farming axe and me diving the tower when we're ahead, so it causes big gold swings. So it's quite important to be really careful when you do stuff like that and not make the same mistakes that I just did. But you've got to stay calm and realize that you haven't lost the game and that you're still well ahead. So there's a bit of stuff going on middle. Slark's just got a kill with his Shadow Blade that he's picked up, and there's a few heroes middle, but I really want to try to take bottom tower here. I mentioned that to my team earlier, and our Crystal Maiden snuck down and put a ward behind the tower, so it's a really good opportunity for us to fight. So I want to go bottom and take this tower, but I don't want to TP there, because if stuff breaks out middle, like if they start fighting, I want to have my TP up to be able to TP to the mid lane to help fight, because I'm pretty crucial for these early fights, because I'm a lot of our team's damage at the moment. So here I call for him to go for the blink call on Slark, and I get all my stuff ready so that as soon as he calls him we can kill him while he's called. X is a really, really good counter to Slark, by the way. It can work. His call works through Slark's ultimate, and it's just a very good lockdown for a low health agility hero like that who's very, very sneaky. So here we're just trying to push this bottom tower. We know they're going to be coming to try to defend, and I'm trying to call for our Shadow Fiend to come to this lane, but he's just like flat refusing. He's being, you know, typical farming, mid-stealing pub player, but that's life. So I'm ruptured here, so I just use my W in case they come to try to fight me, or so that it's on cooldown as well, so I can potentially go and fight, use my 4 attacks or whatever I've got for, and then use it again. So didn't work out. They all turned up. Chris the Maiden died, but I just back up a little bit here. I'm telling my Axe to kind of hang around because we might be able to get a kill if they go disperse after this. So like 2 of them might go off here to farm the jungle, and they might leave someone of their cores bottom to farm, and we can potentially get a pick on that. But our Shadow Fiend starts working on dying middle, so I was gonna go help with that, but I was too far away, and there's 2 heroes here that I can kill. So just blink in behind them. Attack a creep once because I'm still like that. They both use their spells on me at the same time. I've got glyph up for this tower, but they both back off. I was trying to save it to kind of bait them in. Use my phase boots, run after him, get the clap. I think he manages to blink out, but I have blink up here as well, and I think he manages to blink before I get him. Yeah, which is really annoying. But what I probably should have done there is blinked and attacked to make sure I cancelled his blink rather than blinking and stomping, because there's a faster, you know, attack time than there is the cast on Earthshock. So here we've got most of our team bottom. I really want to take this bottom tower, but again, Shadow Fiend's still refusing to play the game. He's just sitting with his blink farming jungle. I don't know why you go blink if you just want to farm. But anyway, I've pulled off into the side lane and I wrap around here thinking that they're going to come up to push this tower, and I can sort of engage on them from the side. I get my ulti off before the Slark uses a little shit on me, and I get lifted, which is quite good to just reduce the damage. I didn't use Mask of Madness because I wasn't sure whether they were going to re-engage on us. Rubik gets away. I don't know what he has for invis, so he stole Sakuchi. That's super annoying, but I'm too low health to go back in and re-engage here. We've kind of lost this fight. We really needed the Shadow Fiend there, and we didn't have him, so potentially if he's not there I should have just known that and not fought, but I was hoping the whole team wouldn't be in the fight. So I'm hanging around in case I can re-engage, but I really should just be running. Well, potentially not. If they overcommit with a couple of heroes, I can turn and kill them here for sure, especially with my ultimate coming up, but we end up just leaving it, and I think I just go back to base and heal. Yeah. So I head back to bottom lane to push it out to do what I want to do. The Bloodseek comes in, ruptures me, uses his silence. I just make sure to use my overpower before his silence goes off, so that if anyone does try to fight me, I have that up. The top level player here has just decided to run around and die instead of just running away, but I wait for Rupture to expire, and then I'm kind of stuck because my whole team is middle, right? Like I can't really fight too many of them here without that. I need the axe really to be able to kill the Slark. I go to TP top but decide against it. I want to stay bottom and push this out. We've got other people that can go farm top. I really need to be the one that's fighting early, which is why I picked Ursa. Axe got a call off here. Anytime he gets that, I got to try my best to kill that hero, because that's my job. Was part of the draft, right? Like I was picking this hero so that I could kill people when they got called, like solo. If you call someone in a wave, the spins from Axe will be able to take them down, but otherwise you're really just using it as lockdown, and you're relying on... I missed my call there. My clap. He turned around. That was a bad play by me. I'm trying to stay away from my team so that he can't RP me and my team. I'm trying to hug the bottom here. And this is what Blitz was talking about in his video that he deleted. When they're getting funneled into this corner and you're attacking them from all different angles. Here I'm yelling to focus him down before he gets his ultimate off. Axe does that swellingly well. But this is that, you know, typical thing Blitz is talking about, where you get them into the bottom lane and just funnel them into a choke point, and they've got no way to retreat. And Shadow Fiend is farming top. Anyone surprised? You surprised? I'm not surprised. We've got to win the game without him, so that's life. The Slark was pissing around down here. I don't know if it was just on the replay that I saw him. Well, I'm watching from my perspective, so he must have seen him somehow, but he can't come and contest us here, so we just take this tower. Back up here and go and check Roshan again. I forget to use Mask of Madness because I'm good like that, but I remember pretty soon, I think. It's very good for killing off Rosh. Just because it gives you that boost in attack speed, and the extra damage you take is pretty irrelevant. So we'll speed through that. If your team starts engaging, it's normally pretty important to try to finish off the Rosh first, because, especially with Ursa, you're so close to getting the kill. I try to blink past the Magnus so that if he wants to skewer out, or if the Slark wants to pounce out, that they're going to pounce over me. is an important concept on a couple of heroes like Spirit, Slark, Magnus. I'm trying to like stay out of range of getting blinked on here. I mean, getting attacked so that my blink can cool down for that 3 seconds and then I can get on top of them and kill them. I'm pretty happy to fight here. I've got Aegis and I'm pretty confident that I can kill either of these heroes and that they can't kill me. He can't kill me during his ultimate, so I think he still decides to try to fight me here, which is an interesting decision, but he does break my Aegis. And I think it's safest just to back off here. Yeah. So, turned out to be a good play by Slark, popping my Aegis and getting out. And he's coming to re-engage on me here. But he doesn't have his ulti up anymore, so I just kill him. The Magus is a bit slow with the old RP. I imagine Slark's a bit salty about that, but he must have been out of position. So here I can fight a mag, so I'm all down with that, but he turns out to have Skewer. He's getting a little close to his tower, but I get a lucky bash, so GG. So here I think I'm making a next level play, but it turns out I'm just getting completely baited. I see this guy come in here on invisible. We have a sentry rune up, so I'm like, hey, I'll run into the pit. He'll be like, hey, I want to go in the rune, check what he's doing. So I sit just on the side in the fog, because this is a fogged line, right? And then as soon as he comes in, I clap, use my W, try to kill him. But their whole team turns out to be here, and I just get a little bit wrecked. But, oh well. The thought was good, I guess. I guess the positioning was bad and the timing was bad, but whatever. I'm not in this fight because I'm dead, but I figured I'd show it to you anyway because it's pretty big. The Axe gets off a call here again. Why he's good against Slark? He was shadow blading there, but he happened to get him in his call. And the Crystal Maiden should have dropped ulti a little bit earlier, I think, but he drops it here a little bit more in the fog. But as soon as the Axe called, he should have just started it straight away. Shadow Fiend with the big blink ulti! Yeah! And he's dead. Yeah, there's some contribution there. It's all happening. Crystal Maiden dies here, and then I think the Axe just gets out, decides not to engage. If he was being ballsy, he potentially could have re-engaged with Blade Mail. Oh, his Blade Mail was down. Yeah, it's not really worth it. If he had Blade Mail up here, I think you could potentially blink, call Blade Mail, and use your W and start killing some people, but you really need your Blade Mail up. It's one of those situations I've talked about before where you just get out. So this Weaver doesn't have his Lincolns yet, I don't think, and he gets ruptured. Yeah, he's got Midas because he's the bro, but he gets everything. Ruptured, RP'd, just fucking, he gets dead. So that's not bad. If I can get out and they trade all of those ultis for our Weaver, he's back up again soon and we can go fight with all their stuff down. So our Weaver was pretty salty about that. I remember, I think he typed something like, well, everything's down, you know, like, holy shit. But yeah, if I had have died there too, then that's really bad for us. So you gotta recognize when you can and can't help your team. This is just a little thing, but just remember to be efficient with your time. The Axe is pushing bottom, so I see 53 seconds, I run and blink and call the ancient, pull the ancient camp here. You can still do it at 55. 53 is what people normally aim for, but it's got a reasonably forgiving time frame on it on this camp. So just pulling the ancients, clearing both of them, rather than farming the same lane the Axe was farming. So important to try to keep your farm up in this mid-game situations and not just go looking for kills. I decided to go Ags here as well, which I've actually got now, which is really important. So the reason I went for Ags is because I've discussed why BKB isn't great this game, because of the Pit of Malefice, because of Blood Rupture, and because of RP or go through BKB. And if I get RP'd, I'm not always going to be able to like predict it, and Lincoln's doesn't do anything for RP, so if I get killed with, if I get RP'd, I can get out of it with Ags, because if you don't know how Ags works, it means you can cast ultimate even when you're like stunned, and it takes the debuffs off you. So if I'm stunned with RP, I can just push R, pardon me, and then I'm all good to fight. So same with like Lift or Pit of Malefice or whatever. If I'm lifted, I can get out of that too, and then I think I go Lincolns after that, so that I have the Lincolns to block the Rupture, and I have Ags to get me out of any stuns, and I think that's better than going any other combination of them, than going BKB. The downside of it is that you normally don't go Mask of Madness on Ursa if you're not planning on going BKB, because the BKB gets rid of that extra, you know, added damage taken that you get from Mask of Madness when you BKB. So potentially a mistake to go Mask of Madness, but it works out alright for me. It's a very efficient, 900 gold or whatever for the recipe that lets you farm a lot faster. and be much better at sort of getting quick kills. Like if the axe gets a blink call on someone of their tanky heroes, I can Mask of Madness and use my W and pick them off quite quickly. So here the axe stuffs up, sort of misses his blink call. I'm trying to zone out the Magnus, because if I go fight here, this is actually really important, right? You gotta always be thinking about what the mag wants to do in these fights. So if I run over here with the axe and try to fight these dudes, and the Magnus can just blink and RP both of us, and then we're 100% dead. So I try to leave him on to do his own thing, run over here and try to start right-clicking this Magnus so that he can't skewer. So that he can't blink and RP. But he ends up skewering me into them and RPing. I have Ags though, so I think I popped my Ags my ulti straight away. I lie, I'd already used it. Shadow Fiend comes in, gets his ult, make sure the Bloodseeker dies, chase down the mag. He's dead. So I didn't really have to get in front of him there because he's moving slow enough with my Earth Shock that if even if he does try to skewer away, we can still kill him. And we get the kill on him before he TPs out as well. So you're always looking for these cleanup kills. Sometimes you'll have a hero like a CM there, like, you know, chasing off a straggler. So it's important after you get your kill to always look straight away to see if there's any other opportunities for you to help chase down more stragglers. So in game here, I was a little bit nervous and I was pinging my team to back up and come to me, but of course the Shadow Fiend doesn't listen because he's Shadow Fiend, and the Axe decides to go run down here. I'm not sure what he was doing. I think he was like wanting to stand out the sentry ward on high ground, but I was worried their team was smoked mainly because no one was farming this wave. This is a very safe wave for them to farm at the moment, and their whole team is alive, so they're not actually farming that. It's really bad for us. So I think I scanned there. It shows up. Oh, they scanned, I apologize. So they scanned to look for our heroes, they found them, and they are smoked, surprisingly enough. So it's important to just try to keep that in mind. I don't know if it happens so much at lower level MMRs, but if they're not farming a safe lane like that, that's really pushed into their wave, it's a real sort of telltale sign. If you wonder how these pro teams always seem to know when the enemy team is smoke ganking, it's generally because of that. So after we took that big fight, we pushed in the bottom wave, killed that tower, and pushed in the middle wave, and that's actually a real good safeguard for smoke ganks whenever you push out waves. It in turn lets you know that the enemy team should be there, and if they're not, then you can be concerned. So we see the Slark, I think, on there. He ran into tower range. And I'm yelling at this Shadow Fiend to get back, and he blinks back. I don't want him to get picked off, but he's not very good at listening. He's not very good at listening. I told my team I'm just going to go farm at the top of this hill. If they engage on me, it's actually going to be the best out of any of the heroes, because I can Ags off the stuns or whatever they use on me, and my team can follow up. So if they get a couple of heroes go on me and the Axe gets a blink call to counter initiate, then we can kill them for sure. So I'm just letting my team know that I'm going up there to farm so that the reaction is quick and happens if they do go on me. I call for my team to smoke gank. God, I wanted to just... I was so frustrated here. The Shadow Fiend or the Axe was controlling it, and they just ran down the hill into, like, potential ward vision, and then smoke two of them down the bottom of the hill. The point was, what you want to do is stand up here under your sentry where you know they don't have a ward, and then smoke and then go into their jungle. But I think turns out luckily they didn't have any wards, but, like... Gotta try your best to communicate with your team, but it doesn't always work out. So anyway, we give it a go. So now we're off with two of our team smoked to go look for a kill. Turns out they had no vision anyway, and we just get a free kill here on the Bloodseeker. But he goes for a TP out, and I get a bash off. I probably should have just popped Mask of Madness there to ensure that I attacked fast enough to get a bash, but I'm a little bit bad at using Mask of Madness, or like remembering to on this hero, because I don't, like, it's not always been a part of my build. I played Ursa a lot before Mask of Madness sort of became a core item on him. I'm telling my ex to be careful here because he's kind of by himself, and if he gets gone on by Slark, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And the Slark was coming down from the top. We saw him leaving this wave with Shadow Blade, so you can just pop up on him at any time. He misses his RP on the Shadow Fiend, which is really important for us. He just hits the CM. I blink in here, go for the quick kill on Rubik. If you can pick off a support, it's really good. Anytime you're playing a core, pretty much. If he's an important support for, like, has good teamfight abilities, they're very easy to kill. They often have low cooldowns on their skills as well, so if you can kill them off right at the start of the fight and it stops them having disables, then you can always go focus down their cores after that. Often fights are about a war between both teams' cores trying to kill the other team's supports, and it turns a bit messy, but we get a really good fight there just by positioning and a couple of mistakes by the enemy team, and by again me telling the Axe to sort of get back and wait for the rest of us to arrive. Potentially should have just pushed middle here, but I really got sick of them having this top tower. So, and there was a lot of farm top. So we pushed out the top wave and went for this kill. This guy comes to try to defend it, which is really dumb, but I get a blink in on him and just make sure he dies. I remember to use my Mask of Madness this time because I'm a skilled player. And we get the tower and we get a kill. So that's really important because, again, I say that too much, but getting a pick and getting that tower is really good because now we can transfer that into an advantage if we want to take more. So if we want to push this top tower, now we're 5v4 or 4v4 because our X is middle, but I'm trying to get him to come top. And I'm playing real aggressive here because they're down a hero and I have my Ags up. So if I go in on a Rubik like that and they RP me over the top, he lifts me, whatever, I can still just ulti out of it and that Rubik's 100% dead if he doesn't have some sort of escape ability. Why is it not letting me look at him? He doesn't have a 4-staff yet, so if I get on him and hit him, then he can't blink out and he can't lift me to throw me away because I can use my ultimate, so he's just dead. And trying to snowball these kills into more is useful as well. Every time someone comes to try to defend a tower, they should defend. You have to take an advantage of that. If I was their team at the moment, I would be pushing out this wave. I can't draw on the map. And pushing out this middle wave because I don't want to be fighting 4v5 against our team. And I don't want to be getting close enough to the tower that they can potentially kill me. And then we have more heroes dead that we're waiting for before we can actually fight. But instead they're just sort of sitting in the base, not doing anything. So what they should be doing is pushing this wave down here, farming this area of the map, and then TPing back to defend the T3 if we keep pushing. And by then the rest of the team will have survived. Survived? Revived. So here we've got really good vision from this observer ward, so I'm kind of just waiting, trying to like stay in fog. I'm just sitting here and waiting for this Bloodseeker to do something. He looks like he's going to go run over to the side of the wave to go fight and help with the middle fight, but he goes back to the wave, so I just blink in. I've got Lincolns now, so he can't rupture me, and I just get a hell of a lot of damage off on him here. I don't actually kill him. Well, he must not have ruptured. He must have just used his Q to break my Lincolns. Again, I wait for him to come in here, use my spells. I just get a follow while I'm not streaming. That's pretty legit. Sorry, that was kind of funny. I used my spells, like my overpower, and I think my ultimate before he got his silence off on me, so that when he comes in to try to kill me, he's just dead. And I get a little bit deep here, but I've got so much of my team around that even if I do die, they should wipe them. But the Axe gets the blink call here with with Blade Mail. They'll run on top of me, get a nice Earth Shock off on them. They RP me, and it's unfortunate that my ulti's not quite up. 17 seconds on ultimate is like so short for 18. It's like ridiculous. And I'm pretty low health here, but I mean, there's no point not fighting, really. Like, I didn't think I was going to get away. I potentially could have, but making sure we get the kills off on their cores there sort of ensures that we're going to get a Rax or a buybacks, which they buy back on the Magnus here. The Weaver's sitting in front of the Slark to make sure he can't pounce back up the cliff, which is good, but he gets 4-staffed out. Me pinging my Shadow Fiend, telling him that they have a Bloodseeker in the game, and that he probably shouldn't stand in the middle of the map with, like, 150 HP. Sometimes you have to play the game for more than one player on the team. But that's like here I'm telling my team that when our Axe respawns, we can kill the Slark. He's sort of pushed out by himself here, playing pretty aggressively. And I'm pinging this, telling our Axe to TP in. And we get the Frostbite off on him. I think he's TPing here. I don't actually know if he is. Nah, he's just ulted. He doesn't have a TP. I didn't actually click on him, which was bad, but I thought he would. He was standing still because he was going to use his ultimate in TP. In which case the Axe would just blink on him and call. But the Crystal Maiden accidentally blocks his pounce, and they get the kill. It's really big for us. I call GG again. Tilting. Tilting is important. They're trying to go for the Roche here, I think. Incredibly rude. A little bit of banter is all well and good. Oh, tilted him into a buyback. The plays, they must know that we were Roshaning here, but they've got no chance. We're like so far here, there's no way the Slark's can actually get there before we Rosh. Except that I'm not actually in the fight. I knew the Bloodseeker was down on this part of the map, like hiding over here, because I saw this his silence go out, so I was trying to run in and catch him, but it turned out he ran back to the mid lane before I did. So I'm waiting before I got there. So I'm waiting for his silence to go off using my W. And then I blink in and fight as soon as that's down. I get RP'd, I use my ultimate, so now I'm not RP'd anymore, and I can just start killing the Magnus, and I'm not sure he really realizes that, but he's dead before, because I was like underneath my whole team, right, so he couldn't really see that I was not RP'd anymore. Get all my spells off before the silence, and then I blink forward here, so this is an important little play. The Rubik's sitting in the back line here, and even though this guy's pretty low, I haven't actually taken any damage, so I can blink and dodge the silence and get on this Rubik, and I didn't quite dodge the silence, but get on the Rubik and start killing him while our team finishes off the rest of these heroes. We managed to clean up all their cores and the Rubik's gets out. I don't waste my blink here straight away because we've got good forward vision here, so I can sort of use that to hopefully see the Rubik. So I'm trying to look for the kill, chase him down, but he managed just to blink out again before I can kill him. So I do think better of it and just sort of back out here and go for the push with my team. Now we've got the Roshan on our Shadow Fiend and we're pushing mid. So here camera position is kind of important. I want as little of my screen on the top right as I can. I should really have it a little bit more down, but potentially without even my hero on it, and looking for this Rubik. So if he does show up and I can kill him, then that's really good, but I also don't want to get too distracted chasing him around the base and not killing the racks. So that's like priority one. If I can kill the Rubik here, then when the rest of their team respawns, we're going to have a hero advantage, but the most important thing is to get the racks. So now I've got my Travs, completing out my kit, and I can go for my Abyssal next. So here our Shadow Fiend gets gone on top by the Bloodseeker. I see him get I think he ruptured him and he got his silence off. So I TP in top here because I'm assuming he's by himself. It's potentially a bad thought, but we can see some heroes middle. So this turns into a free kill even though he's got BKB. I've got Bash. I use my Mask of Madness for the extra move speed to chase him down and get the kill. So really bad play by him. His BKB is on cooldown and he's dead for like 80 seconds. So we can now take another Rax here, 5v4. Slark shows up. Our team's chasing him, but can I really kill him? Oh, that's okay. Alright. Frostbite's a good spell. Apparently he was a retard with his Q and used it too early, but realistically he should save his Q for when the Crystal Maiden's about to catch up and use Frostbite so that you can purge it straight away. Here they use everything on me. As soon as he lifts me, I just ult to get out of the lift and retreat back a little bit. Shadow Fiend blinked in and ultied. I don't think I realized that at the time, but I'm backing up, quite focused on getting my Abyssal Blade. That was a little bit of poor awareness from me. I just want to push that wave in real quick, because he's going to die here, even if I get in there. So he's going to die, loses Aegis, and then I'm going to re-engage on top of that. So Axe should be blinking in about now, but he misses his call. Like, the idea is if you lose your Aegis, if Axe can blink in, get a call while they're waiting to kill him when he respawns, then as soon as he respawns, Axe can blink call and we can wipe their team. But bit of a screw up. I'm just waiting for a good opportunity to engage. A lot of their spells are being thrown out here and kind of wasted. I'm just sort of sitting at the back out of the fight. So yeah, it's a bit of an ugly fight for us. I use my W and I look to come in and counter initiate, but I stuff up and I miss the range on my Q. And we managed to get a pick off here on the Underlord, but they get a rupture on me. They got this sort of chain disable, and fighting in like a condensed spot like this is really poor for us because we're going to be running into like the Underlord slows, the Bloodseeker silences, and the RPs from the Magnus. So I'm low, I'm ruptured, our team's all low and dying, and I just decided to just TP out. So this is kind of important too. We don't want to fight here at this T2 because we don't have the Axe, so it's really hard to kill Slark without Axe. I'm telling my team to back because I don't want them doing what I was explaining before, which is hanging around near a tower you have no business being at. So if we're going to lose that T2, we shouldn't be sitting close to it and potentially getting picked off. So if they're too close and they get ruptured and then they die, it's really poor. And then when the Axe does respawn, we don't have our full team. I'm telling them just like try not to fight, just try to spam their spells and clear the wave and be safe. And I'm going to push out this bottom wave as much as I can, and then I actually C's, which is great, so I'll just skip that. So he's rejoined now and the game's about to restart. The Bloodseeker actually BKB'd right before the pause, which is a little unfortunate for him, but that's life. So I TP in because I figure if he's BKBing, he's committing to the fight. I don't want to TP too close to the front and get RP'd. I TP in here, get my AW up, and then look for a good opportunity to blink. And I'm keeping my ulti. I'm not using it because I want to have it available if I get RP. And they're really scared to come back in for this fight here and help support their Underlord. So now we got a good pick on him. and Axe has respawned, and now we've got to, I'm looking for chase kills here. If we can find any of them and get a pick, that's super good. Otherwise, if we don't, it's fine. We just get a 5v4 fight in their base. So now we're just going to charge down middle. I was looking for a kill here. I figured if they were retreating back in this direction, they might go farm this ancient camp or this one here. So I looked for ancient camp, no one there, and I go in for the like aggressive blink with my W up, ready to kill anyone that was sitting at that camp. But didn't happen. So now we're just going to push in the mid wave and transition straight into top lane. So they're doing the right thing, pushing out this top wave, or the Slark is anyway. We get a free kill on a Rubik who's out of position. Again, I don't have to really waste my Abyssal on him because I can just use my ultimate, which has a much shorter cooldown if he lifts me. Actually, I think he has 4 staff now. Yeah, he does. Committing to get this kill on Slark. Really important. Kill him. May as well blow everything. Magnus is looking for the old walk-in RP and he hits it and it's huge! But it doesn't matter. Shadow Fiend pro player has Skadi now, which is really bad for their team. And we pretty much just wiped them and end the game. So, anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you like this sort of thing. I was trying to think about what stuff I'd want to watch if I was you guys, but it's a little bit kind of hard. I know with other games I enjoy watching people that I think are good at playing the game play and talk about it when I'm thinking about like whatever, like Hearthstone, Overwatch, that sort of thing. So I figured rather than like doing pro reviews and doing some of my own game as well, it might be useful rather than like completely organized sort of professional games or pro players who are potentially a bit too good at the game. But hopefully my level of skill is attainable for all you guys. And hopefully you learn something. Let me know what you like, what you want to see. Thanks for the support. Cheers.